Gents of people, end of February. Welcome to the end of month subscriber stream. How are we looking? As per usual, just doing our usual checks before getting into it. Paradox, welcome on. Hoping the audio and visual is looking alright for the most part. I'm just kind of adjust that music. Ensure that you guys can hear me crystal clear. Yeah. All right. I think we are good to go. Well, going everyone, Sanju Che here. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, everything's, I wouldn't say all is well. I'm a bit tired. We're here. Big up. Hey, Moms, well going on. We're here. Kind of push back this mic a bit. Alright, yeah, I think the audio is good. Alright, people, we are here, good to go. People steadily streaming in. Shout out to everyone that came out for the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 7 reaction review stream. That was good. I think probably was my best stream in a little while. I guess since the year started. I mean, obviously I'm not doing as much videos as one time, so that video slash stream did pretty well in hindsight, I suppose. So yeah. But yeah, we're here at the end of another month. It's a leap year, February 29th, and quite a bit to talk about. Naturally, I'm sure most of you would have heard the news regarding the Naruto live action getting some steam. Of course, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 8 is coming up in March. So there is definitely that. And anything else that usually comes up with these streams for the most part. I guess I've been watching Freerin, so there's that. So a few things to talk about here and there. Of course, this isn't going to be like a 5-hour thing. We know we kind of leave those for the final streams for the year, which we are still quite a ways from. So it is what it is. So how is everyone before we even really fully get into it? I mean, 2 months out of the year, and I mean, what have we accomplished in life at this point? Really and truly. Just kind of sifting through the monotony every day. Work, home, work, home, work, home, work, home. So, yeah, it can be a bit but life goes on, I suppose. Let's see. Alright, well, without further ado, let's, I guess, talk about it. So, yeah, as I was saying, as most of you might already know or have heard, the Naruto live action is getting some steam. And of course, I have this article here on the official Naruto website. Now, I will say that I know it. Yeah, I can't believe it's 2 months already. It's crazy. The year is basically done. I need to kind of like buckle down and see what can be, what we can get done like in the next 6 months. Like 6 months of some serious focus and dedication to something. I think we can, end off the year, God's willing, because anything can happen on a positive note, hopefully. But yeah, so in terms of the Naruto live action, now we have this article courtesy of the official Naruto website. So I know the easy thing to go to when it comes on to like the whole train of live actions that seem to be coming out right now, right? It's easy to say like, oh, like, One Piece did it, Avatar had a new live action that came out recently. What else have we had in recent times? Of course, they had the Rurouni Kenshin live action, but I'm trying to remember what other live actions. But the point is, persons are going to like exaggerate no matter how you slice and dice it, and they're gonna say like, yo, everybody's coming out with live actions now. Now, when it comes on to the Naruto live action, I know it's a case where it was announced years ago. I didn't find the original article because this would have been years. Well, yeah, I mean, Dragon Ball. Fun enough, I still haven't watched Dragon Ball Evolution yet. Honestly, that could be an interesting reaction review if I ever, get to it. Video ideas, I suppose. But yeah, the whole Naruto live action would have been announced from years ago. But it just seems like they're just getting some steam. So let's kind of just get through the article. Wait, Dara Shikage? Wagwan, man? Not bad. I'm just tired, we're just talking, Boruto, Naruto. Usual end of month subscriber stream stuff. No, I mean, I know Dragon Ball Evolution's trap. I mean, so many persons can't be like cloning on it over these last 14 years for it not to be foolishness. But it could be like a nice comedic reaction review. maybe. But anyway, let's get through it. So Destin Daniel Creighton, hopefully I'm pronounced that right, or Creton, to helm and write live action adaptation of manga classic Naruto for Lionsgate. Yeah. So let's see. Global content leader Lionsgate has closed a deal with director Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which, that wasn't, I don't think that was a bad movie. I did love the fight scenes in that movie. So all things considered, I guess from a director standpoint, but if he's writing as well, yeah, I don't think that's a bad move so far. I know, right? Avatar. Alright, yeah, so used to write and direct its highly anticipated live action adaptation of the manga classic Naruto. The announcement was made today by Adam Fogelson, chair, Lionsgate Motion Picture Group. Of course, this is on February 23, so basically it's been almost a week since this article or announcement. The motion picture will be based on the manga created by Masashi Kishimoto. One of the world's most popular IP, Naruto has printed over 250 million copies in more than 60 countries and territories. Of course, Destin will go on to say, it was a true honor to meet Kishimoto-san in Tokyo and hear his expansive vision for his creation, stated filmmaker Creton. We are very excited to collaborate and bring Naruto to the big screen. Masashi Kishimoto said, when I heard of Destin's attachment, it happened to be right after watching a blockbuster action film of his, and I thought he would be the perfect director for Naruto. After enjoying his other films and understanding that his forte is in creating solid dramas about people, I became convinced that there is no other director for Naruto. In actually meeting Destin, I also found him to be an open-minded director. Why is there an ice cream truck passing at this point? Anyway, I also found him to be an open-minded director who was willing to embrace my input and felt strongly that we would be able to cooperate together in the production process. So I think that's important, having the original creators' input. I know it's kind of like almost like a marketing thing right now. It's like, oh, the original creators on it, so it has to be good or something. But I mean, I think with the market kind of starting to, for the market to be putting out more and more anime live action adaptations, I think the competition is there. So having Kishimoto have input, I think, is going to be definitely crucial. As let's face it, persons already are probably saying like, yo, they don't need to do this, etc., etc. So yeah, but anyway, to put it simply, the live action Naruto is bound to be a film with spectacular action and profound drama. I can't help but be excited for it. Fogelson said, the manga classic is beloved by millions of fans all around the world, and Destin has delivered a vision for the movie that we believe will excite a massive fan base, as well as those who are new to it. Avi, or AVI, and I have had the pleasure of working together before, and I know that as we collaborate with Destin and the team on Naruto, we are in extraordinary hands. Yada 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 yada. Okay, interesting. Shang-Chi, multiple or in short term 12, yada yada yada. Alright, well, I mean, it's on the official Naruto website. I mean, the other details, I guess you can read on your own time. So, let's see what you guys are saying. They kill comics, movies, and TV in the West now. They have their sites on anime and manga. Given how things are going, that doesn't sound surprising. It's like, I think the powers that be are saying like, yo, this is definitely not working. Let's try our hands at anime and adapting it. Because again, even though this whole Naruto live action thing has been announced, like we have this picking up steam now with this recent announcement. Again, it's something that's been in the works like for years. I think it's been more than probably 5, 6, 7 years since the original like, Lionsgate announcement that they'd be doing a live action Naruto movie. If I'm wrong, you can correct me, but that's what I remember at least. So yeah, Naruto is my favorite. I'll give it a shout out, but the writing is on the wall. Yeah, true. All right, so I want to talk about this from a different perspective. Well, various perspectives. So all right, live action Naruto, right? I mean, runtime, what are we looking at? What do you think would be favorable? Of course, the first major arc, you know, Land of Waves, I think that's a given to have it, you know, start there. Or, you know, it could be one of those live action adaptations that just goes all over the place, like right now. So, I mean, if you're watching, like, even the Halo live action right now, certain elements of that kind of takes certain elements from different points in the games, so there's that as well. But of course, if it's up to me, I'm always gonna start at the beginning. So live action Land of Waves I think is good. Compressing Zabuza and Haku to maybe like, I don't know, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe that could work. And of course, I would imagine it depends on how successful it turns out being, if they would even continue it. So it depends. They have been trying to get live. We have Chunin exam should be the first major plot. You say you think Chunin exam should be the first major plot? I mean, what do you guys think? You think that works like Chunin exams? Like, because I would imagine the movie would end more so on a cliffhanger when it comes on to like, oh, like at the end of the movie you see a bunch of new characters like Rock Lee and those characters showing up at the end and everything. I think that could work. So yeah, 2.5 hours. So there's that. And of course Orochimaru, yeah, that would be good. Because of, I would imagine, the cost of doing these things, I think when it comes on, or what I've realized when it comes on to like live action adaptations of these things, is that they tend to introduce some of the more juicier elements earlier. So like how you just mentioned Orochimaru right now, you might even see like in the movie, you might see Orochimaru in that in the movie, like just to kind of plant that seed of like, oh shit, he had this one character that looked terrifying, but we didn't really do much in the movie, like, you know, just for a setup for a potential second movie, depending on if it turns out good. Let's put that disclaimer there. So more than likely, certain elements like Orochimaru, like Neji, certain Chunin exam elements might be in the movie. This is just, of course, speculation because we don't have any more details, but I think when it comes on to pacing and based on the resources and everything, they would have to, you know, throw not necessarily everything at the wall, but they definitely have to throw a variety of elements to kind of set up interest and intrigue for like a future like Naruto movie, live action, of course, like a follow up. So I think that might be the best way, but there's a certain nuance to it because it can't just be like, yo, oh, let's have this checklist, you know, oh, Orochimaru. The fans will like, oh shit, yeah, yo, like fan service. Like, of course you're gonna have fan service, but it can't just be like contrived fan service. It has to be like natural and organic based on how they're setting it up. So that's the thing. I'm going to have to be like 10 parts for young Naruto. Hey, you'd be surprised, you know, that they'd probably even do this in like 3 parts. You'd never know. I think it would be better as a TV series, but I think what it comes down to a lot of times when it comes on to adaptations is that we like to think like, oh shit, yeah, in the part 1 Naruto was like, alright, if we really just take out the filler, we're talking about like 140 episodes. But trust me, when these people are ready to like do adaptations and compress and kind of streamline pacing and everything, I mean, look at the One Piece live action, bro. Like in those 8 episodes, they covered like, I don't know, 60 or about 50 episodes 50 episodes. So to be honest, they could probably do like young Naruto in like 3 parts. H2O Cobra, Medem and Wagon, just there, we're chilling, we're just talking. Naruto live action, nothing too crazy. How are you? But yeah, I think 2.5 hours, Land of Waves, but include elements like Orochimaru, Chunin exams, earlier, just kind of sparsely. I think that could work for the Naruto live action. But you know, I know there's going to be the argument that, yo, like, live action. You would think that, you know, given the state of the franchise, persons or fans are more interested in using these financial resources towards other aspects of the franchise right now, right? Like, because I know a person will be like, yo, what's happening with the original, those Naruto part 1 episodes that we got promoted? When's the Boruto anime coming back? Why don't we pay Kishimoto and Ikimoto more? Let's make the manga, you know, bi-weekly, you know, put resources elsewhere. But you know, all of those arguments are like entire conversations by themselves, honestly. All right, it's good to hear you're doing well, H2O. I know the monotony of everyday life can be a bit I guess depending on where you are. I don't know if you do school or if you're working, but we're all going through it in some shape or form, honestly. So, but thanks for coming in, man. I don't know if you even had checked out the Boruto chapter, my reaction stream. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm kind of curious what other persons are actually saying in regards to the live action, because I think, as I said, we've done runtime, the elements, but given how like things with like One Piece, Rurouni Kenshin, I haven't started the recent Avatar live action adaptation. I know the Death Notes, well, the Netflix ones, I haven't watched them, but I heard they sucked. Of course, Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't know. What are you guys' expectations for this Naruto live action? Because I don't see this dropping till maybe 2026. That's my estimate. So there's that. There's one Naruto chapter. Have me away, nah lie. Yeah, true. It's like, for the state of the franchise right now, for this story being ongoing, like the 1 month setup, is it the worst? Because it could be worse, because look at Black Clover right now. But honestly, bi-weekly would be the ultimate thing, honestly, bro. Honestly, because trust me, like, I was watching one of Naruto Explains videos in terms of when he was talking about, you know, the state of the Boruto anime, and he was throwing out his expectations in terms of he thinks it's going to be more so along the lines of 2026 or 2027 for the Boruto anime to come back. Now, I originally was guesstimating that it would be 2025, because I didn't really see it being like 2024. It wouldn't make sense. So 2025, like April, would have been like my best guess. But like the more I'm thinking about it and considering his opinion, 2026, 2027 might make more sense. But it would really help if the release schedule for the manga went up, because that's the thing. I think that's what's killing things right now. If the anime were to start back, it's like, yo, you'd eventually catch up, and then we'd be right back to quoting all the reasons why the Boruto anime just didn't work again. So yeah, like pushing things up to 2026 might be what's gonna happen. But interestingly, if it does happen to be 2026, and if my guess for this Naruto live action is 2026 as well, it would be interesting. It'd be like, it's not like, I guess it's kind of like that Naruto resurgence, because outside of the manga right now, it just feels like, yeah, and it definitely looks away, because this year I know we had all the celebrations for the anime's 20th anniversary, but this year is the 25th anniversary for the franchise on a whole. Like, the manga started in 1999, so you would think we'd be getting in some more, something, but nothing at all. So yeah, I think that's it. I definitely think that's it. But I don't have really much more to say on the live action, or maybe I do. I mean, and then I guess the next thing, like in terms of cast, like it's not like with One Piece where Oda said, like, this character will be from here, this character will be from there. Do we have all like Asian cast, or is it gonna be mixed, or who would we really recruit to play Naruto, really and truly? Then 2026 is a good time. Material. Yeah, I think 2026 would be good, because thinking about it, we still have from chapters 68 to 80 to adapt, plus any anime original arcs. So there's that. Yeah, I've actually started Ninja Kamui. I watched the first 2 episodes. I still have episode 3 to watch. I haven't checked out episode 3 yet. Definitely a vibe. I would recommend. Yo! And of course, the opening theme, like, coming from, like, as a person coming from that era of YouTube and you're influenced by those Linkin Park AMVs and all of that, like, I'm not like the biggest like rock or alternative fan or whatever the case may be, but the opening is definitely a banger. I was watching it we were watching episode 2. I was watching it with my brethren. If you watch my Attack on Titan, my final episode reaction review, that crazy 3-hour video, my brethren Ray, I was saying to him, like, yo, when he went back to his house and took out the box and then set it on fire, I'm like, yo, just giving me John Wick vibes. Giving me major John Wick vibes. So yo, I'm loving it. Like, I'm watching it in dub. I don't know if you're watching it in sub, but I guess it doesn't matter, really. Really and truly. So yeah. But yo, I'm kind of wondering how many episodes there are going to be. So I'm looking forward to that. The animation, the choreography is great, I think, so far. Of course, I think persons like you throw like a revenge plot and all of that, and good fight scenes, choreography and everything, it will sell well. But I think it has that nuance. Well, should I say that? But they built up the whole connection with his family and everything, so I love that. For Kajun to start in a few months this year, has some really good anime to come out. Yeah, true. I've been watching Free Ren. I'm on episode 12 or 13, so I still have a bit of catching up to do. Got a trailer for season 3. I actually haven't started Reincarnated the Slime. I hear it's good, but I haven't really been compelled to really dive into it. Like, in terms of recent anime, it's just been like Zom 100, Free Ren. What else again? What else have I been watching? Hold on. Of course, Solo Leveling. Yeah, so that's been like the 3 that I've been watching, really and truly. And of course, Ninja Kamui, which is, if you guys know me, that's much more than I'd usually be watching. So No, we're trying. Trying over here. So there's that. But yeah, back on topic for just for a little bit. Yeah, in terms of the cast, I don't know. Do you guys have any? I'm not the biggest like, oh yo, this actor has like, I know this actor or this actor or this actor. But do you guys have any like recommendations in terms of who could play who for this Naruto live action? So because I don't know, I don't even know who to suggest. Like the first person to suggest, like, oh, this person would be awesome as Kakashi or awesome as Naruto, or you know, I don't know. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. It's like I'm not sure what to say either, honestly. Well, as I said, I think from what I can remember from like even like Destin like doing Shang-Chi, I don't even think. Hold on, was he the writer as well? Search. Do. Story by. Okay, so he did write it as well. Well, co-writer. And Shang-Chi wasn't bad, you know. It wasn't bad. So if we're going into this just from the perspective or from the foundation of Shang-Chi having great like fight choreography, I think we're in decent hands. Yeah. So yeah, pretty much that. I did see Mello and Bara post a video on it, like a discussion. I wanted to kind of take that in before and just I guess give my final thoughts on it before moving into like Two Blue Vortex and everything else. So let me just load up the YouTube. Mello. Alright, let me fully turn off the music here. Turn on this desktop audio. So let's hear what Mello and Bara have to say. See why? Alright, that was actually funny and subtly appropriate. 1,000 years of death. It's ridiculous. Yeah! These ads are let me turn this down a bit. Alright.
That's
Alright, let's drop a like definitely, cause don't know. Mellow. Sorry cousin, how are they going to do the hairstyles? It's such a minute detail, but if you do some cosplay type shit, that's gonna be whack. Yeah, that's true, because it's like you'll be watching and you're like, bruh, why do they even look like this? Like it's just gonna break the immersion.
I mean, I told you my views on live action. I think almost all of them is like not done correctly. It's like hypothetical. Like if a Marvel movie is announced, we think it's going to be good. If an anime live action movie is going to be announced, we think it's probably going to be bad. That's how I'm coming. And now because Naruto is unfortunately he was promoted, and now the live action's elite employee. Like I don't know how I feel about this.
I mean, a lot of live actions, the creators,
the free game is there as
sometimes not all of them don't work side by side with the directors. So having Kishimoto work side by side with the director and having his vision actually be employed into the series, I think it will come out pretty good.
I actually think the most important aspect of taking anime to live action is the director, as opposed to the original like manga creators. Kishimoto can't direct a film, right?
No.
Okay. It's an interesting take. This one scared me for life. I still haven't watched it yet, as I said. But that's an interesting take. You know, having a good director versus having the original creator involved.
He doesn't understand the medium. He can get everything he needs from the story that Kishimoto can like input. It's already in the story. It's in the manga. It's in the anime, it's in the data books, it's there. He doesn't need Kishimoto, if you're being honest. But Kishimoto needs him to put it to the big screen, to make it palatable to someone who'd watch a movie and not watching anime. So
Yeah.
when people say like, "Oh, Kishimoto is involved," I don't really care. That doesn't make any difference to me because I don't think he needs to be involved.
Just mentioning what Kitamaki was saying with Kishimoto potentially being involved, I think it's a bit valuable simply because
Yo,
some
Bio,
people,
what's up?
anytime that a Naruto production or even like Boruto now has nothing to do with Kishimoto, people like immediately devalue it. So I think having Kishimoto on it, it kind of gives it more legitimacy.
And even even given your scenario, I guess we have the best of both worlds, right? We have like the guy, Kishimoto, and a really good director. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, I thought was a fantastic film. Personally, I really enjoyed it, especially that scene where like his dad and his mom were fighting. That was pretty sick.
Check that out.
Yeah, and then like the final boss scene, it was basically a live action anime. So like it actually does.
Yeah,
make sense
that's a fair
that
point.
he would have seen something like that and then would have felt like he was the correct guy. Yeah, I'm neutral. I don't want to be negative or pessimistic about it. I do think Shang-Chi was an excellent film. I can't measure his other films because I haven't seen them or I don't really know too much about that. But I do think that's a good film, and that does leave me with some optimism and some hope. But history tells me that anime stuff doesn't really adapt well to live action, so I think I'll remain neutral. I won't get excited about this. I won't get too down about it. I'll just let it play out, and I'll judge the final product when it comes. But I do think it's good that Naruto still has some life in it, and we're still doing new things with it. Maybe I'm asking a little bit too much for us to get like like I don't know, seasonal video games for Boruto, or a movie every 2 years for Boruto, or maybe something for Boruto. But they seem to want to go back to the well, which makes sense. Naruto is like a 20-plus-year-old show, so revamping it, it's not too bad. So I'm okay with this. I'm more neutral.
And they know they're gonna get the.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with Mello there. It's not like to say I'm excited would be wrong, but I don't feel heavily pessimistic given the information that they've presented to us so far. As he said, Shang-Chi wasn't a bad movie. I liked it. I know it, as I said, Kitamaki on this video as well. It's like, yeah, I get what he's saying in terms of having the director involved more so, like a good director involved more so than Kishimoto, because all the information is there in the manga and all that jazz and blues already. But I still think it's a good thing having Kishimoto on board. That's dynamic between having a good director and the original creator, and if the synergy is there, then you can get something really good coming out of this in terms of, yeah, it definitely still feels like Naruto. It's kind of like with Oda when with One Piece, he was there on set as well working with the crew. So
the older crowd into there, and that's basically what the sell is going to go to as well. They can get the kids and the older generation as well, because like a lot of the older generation is not really into Boruto.
No, I was just say, I feel like I would have preferred maybe a TV series with like a very high budget. That way you can spend and just cover the Land of Waves arc. Just do that first,
right?
And then because that is like kind of simpler. Just have like a really high budget, someone who knows what they're doing, a really good director, and then do like maybe an 8 to 10 episodic thing.
Between now and March 8th,
these
2024,
ads, man.
an event will happen in our country.
No.
With the Land of Waves arc, I think that might be too many episodes if they're like an hour long, but maybe 8 episodes, and I think that could be fantastic. A film, I guess I don't know. I just don't want another Dragon Ball Evolution situation.
I think what they're gonna have the most issue with is the designs. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, they want it to be exactly like it was in Naruto. The designs need to be the exact same thing.
Bro,
they need
just
to
gotta
be the
get a white
exact
guy
same
with blue
way.
eyes.
No.
like-
See, but he has to be Asian though. Like, I feel like he has to be Asian. They have to have an Asian cast. They can't whitewash this film, bro. They just can't do it.
The thing is that
Naruto
well, I
is
mean,
a white boy with blue eyes and blonde hair.
Naruto.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
That's gonna be different for Naruto because he doesn't look like an Asian. So that's when you have like the fans are gonna be like, oh, this doesn't look like Naruto. They're gonna have people be like, oh, if they do pick an Asian character, it doesn't look like Naruto. If they pick like a white character, they're gonna be like, oh, whitewashing. So it's gonna be hard to win. It's gonna be hard to win. But
To me, I think the simple route is it's a series that comes from Japan. There's a lot of Japanese and Chinese culture and Buddhism and stuff inside of it. Pay honor to the Japanese culture and cast the Japanese actors. And yeah, like Naruto has blonde hair and blue eyes, but like fucking Yu-Gi-Oh characters have like pink hair and purple. Yeah, Sakura has pink hair. Like
fair point. I don't know. I find the Yu-Gi-Oh example really funny.
different color hairs. So like the blonde hair, blue eye thing isn't like distinct to America. Like no one has pink hair, but that seems to be a thing that exists in that verse.
One Piece, they didn't like cast, all Japanese cast there.
Yeah, but
So
One Piece kind of has like this, because everyone knows like Luffy's supposed to be like Brazilian, and it's like a more like Caribbean-esque feel to it.
Yeah.
And like their world is very different. It doesn't seem like it's in Japan, but they happen to be. It just seems like they happen to be speaking Japanese because it comes from Japan. Whereas like Naruto is very like shinobi, ninja. Like it's very Japanese oriented. I mean, even the soundtrack, right?
Eastern, if you want to just put it at that.
Yeah, like those Eastern instruments in their soundtrack. It's very Japanese. In comparison to like a One Piece. I hope they don't do Shippuden. Are they doing Shippuden?
No, come on, Mello. Like, thinking about Shippuden, like, that shouldn't even be like, are they gonna do Shippuden? That shouldn't even be a question right now. Like, any Shippuden element, like, I'm all for using elements from future arcs in the first movie for the sake of pacing because we're gonna have limited runtime, but I don't think asking about Shippuden should be like, I don't think any Shippuden element should even be in this movie. It's not even funny.
It's Naruto, did they say?
They
Live
said
action Naruto
live
film.
action. Yeah, they didn't specify if it was going to be Shippuden or
Yeah, like
Naruto.
try getting the Land of Waves done first, and then come talk to me. Because if you can lick that arc, you should be perfectly fine. Like it has so many emotional beats, great action, a turn up moment with like Kurama and Naruto, in the Crystal Ice Mirrors. That arc is a perfect arc to adapt. It sets up everything perfectly. So if you can't get that right, stay as far away from every other like the tuning exams is too much. There's too much going on there. But the Land of Waves arc is just right. And if they can lick that and that alone, then I think they'll be fine. But anything other than that, I think they're doing too much.
To me, I had like a different idea. I wanted it to be Shippuden, but I wouldn't necessarily mind Naruto. I get where you're coming from. I want to see a proof of concept a little bit first. So the Land of Waves arc,
yeah,
I think
exactly,
that definitely would be a decent arc to.
It's the same thing I was saying. It's Land of Waves, why not? I mean, it's the start, so
to kind of animate. If I were to go with like a part 1 Naruto arc for me personally, I think I'd probably go with This is gonna be like probably gonna be like my most biased one, but
come
I
on,
prefer
Bara,
the
out with
Sasuke
it.
Retrieval arc. I think that right there, my personal opinion. Well, first thing first, I say it's biased because Gara was the star of that arc, but also I think that had like a lot of emotions. That had essentially the core dynamic of Naruto. So people who are actually starting to come into Naruto, they can kind of understand. Hey, Naruto is the main guy. Sasuke is the guy that Naruto.
All right, so I'm the Kool-Aid guy, the nuance guy. The Sasuke retrieval arc for the first arc. I don't know. Because they would have to, like when you tell a story, kind of similar to like, Boruto, and you have the flash forward, and then you eventually learn things as the story goes on. Or if you guys watch Arrow and CW, and, as the story is going on, you're getting flashbacks. The Sasuke retrieval arc would have to, like, the structure of it would have to change drastically. Because at that point, I mean, like, for a person going into the live action, they don't really have any investment in these characters. And of course, they would have to, craft it so they be invested during the runtime. But, I don't know, like, starting with the Sasuke retrieval seems difficult. Like, I'm trying to imagine, like, a massively restructured Sasuke retrieval arc, if that's the case.
Naruto is chasing after, or vice versa, whichever you guys want to call it. But I think that would be like a good one. Naruto Shippuden, one that I'd pretty much want to probably be like the pain arc. You could pretty much start when Jiraiya invades the Hidden Rain Village. I think that'd be like a fire moment. Have it end after Naruto becomes like the Hidden Leaf Village hero. I'd like that.
How do you start? How do you start in the middle of the series?
Exactly.
I was gonna say. I think they're gonna start earlier on. It makes way more sense.
I think you have to start in the Land of Waves, like or whatever you want to call that before. But like you got to start at the start. Like I would think.
Like, I don't know. I think you could pretty much fill in a lot of gaps. I think with
okay. It's not to bash Bara, but it could work. But you can't just say, "Yo, let's start with the Sasuke retrieval arc or Jiraiya invading the Rain Village." you gotta present like, okay, how would you structure the arc to make it work? Because you have to like massively restructure it. Honestly, I mean, and then if we're gonna already have, you see, if it was a series, that would be one thing. But we already have limited runtime with a movie, and then you're gonna want to pad it with getting to know these characters through flashbacks. If they do it and it works, and I see how it's done, then fine. But right now, I don't think that would be the best move.
Flashbacks with storytelling.
Nah. Oh no.
In my personal.
Alright, setting them up for failure, bro. Like, that's gonna be.
I don't
People are
know.
gonna be like, yo, they rushed it. They skipped through everything. You know. I can see it from now.
That's why they didn't pick Bar as a screenwriter.
If the land of waves,
so, but like.
sorry,
In my personal opinion, I don't necessarily think the Land of Waves is as entertaining as some of the other arcs in Naruto.
That's what I'm saying. If the Land of Waves arc is not good enough, then don't even try. Like, just let's leave it alone. Because the Land of Waves arc is, you can't start. Because if we're saying like, these other arcs are super big and important, let's start there. It's like, bro, no, you have to start where it starts. Like, you can't just give me pain. It's like, what is this? No, I need to know, like, I need to get like the Minato shit at the beginning. Like, I need to get like Lord Third giving the epilogue or the prelogue, or I don't know, like giving the voiceover. I need to get Naruto versus Mizuki, and Naruto with the come at me, fool, I bring it back to you tenfold or some shit. I need all of that set up so I can know like the next Hokage and Ninja Legend. Like, I can't just start in the middle like with just because it's better, like content. Yeah, if you can't start at the beginning, you can't start at all, bro. In my opinion.
It's ads. No.
And they're gonna want new audience.
Yeah, the fan service for it. Yeah, like in some shape or form, we're going to like complain and bash it in some way. But it's kind of like, as the guys are saying, you're like, if you would really start it there, be like,
also,
yo,
you know, like,
they rushed it, you know?
Trying to get them into it.
Yeah. And then they go, who this brother right here?
But first, I kind of agree with the idea that if you can't really adapt, or if you can't really do a live action of the first arc correctly, they shouldn't really do it at all. I personally hope that they don't do it at all, and that's why I kind of reacted when Free Game said we're pretty much approached the subject. But I still believe that I don't necessarily think you need to have all the backstory and groundwork already laid to actually create a movie. Like, most movies start with action. Most movies don't start with the guys or the characters as teenagers and starting to learn how to be good. Like, a cop movie doesn't start with all the cops in basic training. Like, that's not really how it goes.
But most
they
of those
usually go to the entertaining parts and explain the backstory.
But the cop
in the movie,
unless the cop movie is like based off of its own screenplay, like this is based off of a prior series. This is an adaptation.
Yeah, this is an adaptation. Yeah,
like,
so it's a difference.
Oh yeah,
like it's not like it's not like Spider-Man to where we got like a billion Spider-Man films. So like, yeah, the whole great power with great responsibility. Yeah, Uncle Ben's, let's skip that, and he's Spider-Man at the start. You can't do that with Naruto. Like, this is their first at bat. They have to start where it starts, and they have to nail that. And if they can't even get that right, like, you can't get the bombastic giant toad kaiju battles and fucking the Chunin exams or Konoha Crush. You got to start at the start, and they got a lot to work with at the start. Like, it's not like they can do the Minato stuff as like a flash forward, or I guess a flashback. They can do the Minato stuff, which is peak stuff. If they can't even get that right, bro, you don't even touch pain, bro. And they,
you know, that would be like a bad idea if I'm thinking about it, or if I'm interpreting it how Melo is saying it here. Like, even that flashback, flash forward scene of, you know, Minato versus Kurama. You know, the fourth Hokage sealed the demon fox into Naruto and all that jazz and blues. If they even like extend that out by like a 2-minute action or 3-minute action sequence, that wouldn't be bad.
They made that mistake with Dragon Ball Evolution. They if I remember correctly, they try to get to like the Demon King Piccolo arc, because that's like one of the best arc, if not the best arc in all of Dragon Ball. They skipped over all the other stuff, which is really good content. The Pilaf stuff isn't great, but I don't know how you start Dragon Ball without doing Pilaf first. It just, I don't understand. So I don't
see it. I get where you're coming from, but like, if they're doing just one arc, just a one-off arc, I personally don't necessarily think the Land of Waves would be as entertaining. I get where you're coming from, but if they want to go like have like a real box office type of thing, I don't think the Land of Waves is like the arc to do it in.
Then they need to. Okay, so it needs to be a loose adaptation. Then it needs to be.
Yeah, because I get what Bara is saying, but it kind of comes back to what I was saying earlier, is that if you look at a lot of these live action adaptations, even the semi-decent ones, right? One Piece being one of them, which, it's not bad. Even if they're doing a Land of Waves, more than lightly, for the sake of pacing and runtime, a lot of elements from future arcs, or maybe even the arc right after, or the next two arcs after the Land of Waves, True in the Exams and Sasuke Retrieval, maybe they'll include those elements. For all we know, maybe at the end of Team 7 versus Haku and Zabuza, we have a Orochimaru, a fight versus Orochimaru, and then it's like, yo, he sets the stage like, yo, if you want to, I don't know, I put the curse mark on Sasuke now, if you want to save him, meet me in the Chunin exams or something like that, so to be honest, that might be the case. You never know, something along the lines of that.
Be a completely new screenplay based off the Naruto story. Then if that's how they're going to do it, because then you can like take elements from the series that you like and then jumble them all together and like create some dope shit.
Exactly.
And maybe have like some Easter eggs or whatever the case may be. But it in no way is like a direct adaptation or even like a close to direct adaptation. It's just based on the story by Musashi Kishimoto, Naruto fucking New Dynasty or some dumb shit, right? Like maybe if you're doing that, maybe, but I'm not so sure how people would take to it. But,
yeah, facts. But yeah, that's news for the Naruto live action. Let's get to the live action One Piece series being nominated for Writers Guild Award. Entertainment News Magazine.
Alright.
And now it's time.
I think that's pretty much it. Alright, so I think we've said our piece. It depends on who they want to face in. I'm fans. Strip this and fights. Fights will please them, but if we don't watch it, that may work. Yeah, as I said, I get what Bara's saying, because it's like being a movie and then you're thinking about the persons who probably never watched Naruto before or you've heard of it, but we'll give this live action a try. And it's like you want to kind of end them coming out of the movies like, yo, that was sick. Are they gonna do part 2? I can't wait to wait for part 2, or as I'm saying, like, I think the way I'm describing it with including elements from future arcs is like for the sake of pacing, that works, because you can set up future movies, future arcs. So yeah, I think that works. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for the Naruto live action that I'll say for now. No, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, dogs. Yo. Yo, let me bring up back the chapter, because honestly, this is honestly ridiculous, bro. Ooh, new series. The brightest flame casts the darkest shadow. Slide into the harsh reality of life as a baseball prodigy. The Days of Diamond. Not much of a sports anime and manga fan. And interestingly, Boruto 2 Blue Vortex still on top. But anyway, chapter 7 was an interesting chapter, right? Now, before chapter 7 dropped, I had made the prediction that by right, Mitsuki should not. it should have been a cakewalk for Boruto, all things considered. And I mean, based on what happened in the chapter, that is exactly what happened, because it does not seem like Boruto broke a sweat in beating Mitsuki. This man, it's like, he wasn't even really trying, really and truly. Of course, by the end, he could have ended it. And have you guys realized that it's like it's becoming like a super subtle running gag for like the people in Minato's bloodline to say, yo, I'm not good at siege mode, perfect siege. Yo, I'm not really good at flying thunder god, spamming it. So I'm just saying. Anyway, So yeah, the chapter aside from a power scaling standpoint, like Boruto, it, bro, this man, it's not even funny, dog. Like the man just make Mitsuki look like nothing. like nothing, bro. The man is just using lightning style with his sword and like one jutsu. Well, one use of flying thunder god, and he's yeah. And you have to remember Mitsuki's bloodlusted, bro. Like ready to kill this man and everything. It's crazy, but it kind of has me thinking, right? Because I'm wondering, like, for example, how strong is Orochimaru now? Has Orochimaru been doing anything in the background? I kind of get the feeling like if this was like a bi-weekly series that, you know, we get to see Orochimaru, because even though I had Boruto like winning easily, I was thinking like, okay, maybe he has some backup plan from Orochimaru, something in his back pocket, but I guess for the sake of pacing and pushing the story along, they don't really bother with that. But yeah, I mean, this man's going in after dodging, lightning release on his. Did he do any hand signs before? No, he didn't. Lightning release on his sword, going through. And the fact that, because alright, when you think about the Mitsuki chapter, right, the origin story, quote unquote, when he was like he blitzed Orochimaru. And then this is Mitsuki now with a bunch of experience plus 3 more years, and it doesn't seem like he has any problem with siege mode. And Boruto is just Boruto not trying is putting this man to shame, basically. This man is just chilling, bro. Chilling. Fight done. Of course, he does talk about the whole doubt he has because of omnipotence and revealing that Naruto is alive, and how the nuances of omnipotence that persons, I think, definitely wanted to see. So there is definitely that. Anyway, of course, we do end the chapter with, you know, Jura, I believe, reading books and saying, yo fam, like we need to go get Naruto because I got a bunch of questions that I need answers to and all that jazz and blues. So it comes down to like, yo, what kind of answers can Naruto give them that anybody else can't give them right now? What's he saying? So fast, what a monster after these people in the room tells you how fast it is. Exactly, bro. Like when you really put everything on a skill, it's like Boruto really must be a monster, dog. Like I know it sounds even to this day. I think some person would be like, if I told like a random person, of course Naruto fan, yo, Boruto right now would put Madara to shame. I'm like, what? No. It's so hard to say, but like on paper, based on the progression of things, that has to be the case. It's crazy, fam. But yeah, it comes down to what I'm saying is that I'm kind of wondering, going into chapter 8, right? Like on the top level, surface level, I'm wondering what kind of information that Naruto would have that, you know, Jura, like, that anybody else wouldn't have, right? Like, for example, you have Hidari, who's based off Sasuke. What kind of information would Naruto have that Sasuke doesn't already have? That's the thing that's kind of like puzzling me. I mean, apart from like Jura's instinctual desire to like, oh, I want to kind of consume Naruto. Like, outside of that, from a knowledge perspective, it isn't really making much sense to me because they already have Sasuke in their back pocket. So it's like, Naruto's and all things chakra. Well, true, but my thing with that is like, I'm thinking, yo, yeah, that comes like from 6 parts powers, right? And it's like dealing with the god tree and everything kind of seems like it comes from that source. So it's like, yeah, we're kind of already, I think the foundation should be there where like Jura and his evolved Shinju should kind of already have that anyway. so yeah, exactly. because all right, even with the understanding of everything, chakra and ninja or whatever the case may be, if I'm wrong for chapter 8 or 9 or 10, fine. But the fact that we set the foundation that he's reading books to get an understanding of certain things, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Not reading the books, but just the fact that they have Sasuke. What information would Naruto have that Sasuke doesn't? Sasuke, who even in the last 10 years has been traveling and everything. That just doesn't make sense to me. But until they actually reveal it, I guess we'll see. But going into chapter 8 though, based on this piercing, the good thing is that between Jura, or the evolved Shinju, and Mitsuki being set on this, his whole narrative arc when it comes down to Two Blue Vortex, that's gonna put the squeeze on Kawaki to make a move, whether it be a desperate move or whatever the case may be. But it's definitely going to be something that ensures the pacing continues to, be consistent, and that's what I kind of like in terms of how they're doing it. I just again wish the release schedule was faster, so you could actually include other characters, because I joke about Kakashi being on vacation or just like saying, yo, yeah, we're finished with Konoha, dog. The insurance now really cover it. Like every day everybody's invading Konoha. Let me just move to the Sand Village. Yes, me. But I joke about that, but I think a big part of that is just because of the release schedule, and they want to push the story and the narrative as fast as possible while remaining as qualitative as possible, and including a bunch of other characters outside of that core cast of Boruto, Sarada, Mitsuki, Naruto, Sasuke, Kawaki, Ada, Daemon, Amado, Shikamaru, Sumere. It's like they picked like a little basket of characters to really focus on, so it doesn't really get beyond, like, not too many elements to really juggle. So yeah, so I really and truly think that's it. But the question is, like, I mean, given everything that's been said, I wonder what Kawaki is going to do next, or even Boruto and Kashin Koji, because it might be a case with chapter 8 we kind of have, or we see Mitsuki going back to the house, kind of confronting Kawaki, probably talking to him. The chapter I hope they don't end it on like some PN stuff where it's like at the end of chapter 8 it's like the evolved Shinju are just on top, like floating in the air in the village basically. So there's that. I wouldn't mind like some chaos breaks out for next chapter. I'm on such a capper, you probably knows he's being watched. Yeah, more than likely Amado knows he's being watched, dog. Like, that's like, the man is just chilling. I don't know if you guys still think he's still the mastermind behind everything, but yeah, I definitely believe he knows he's being watched. But this man's like, it's whatever, dog. I know Shikamaru, like, at this point he's probably watching me, but it's whatever. I'm cool as long as I get what I want and everything. It's fine. I got Kawaki, even though I think Kawaki's Boruto, but it's whatever. So yeah, and the interesting thing that to probably look out for next chapter 2, or maybe chapter 9 or 10, because next chapter is going to be the end of volume 2, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So I'm expecting something big to happen. But the follow-up between Kawaki and like Ada and Daemon is going to be like a next little tidbit to look out for as well, because of course they're setting it up, especially from pre-time skip. Of course we had that moment in Two Blue Vortex where Ada's like saying, yo, they're after me too, and I covered that that was like a subtle nuanced way for her to kind of continue to gauge Kawaki and his quote-unquote interest in her. So between the Shinju, Mitsuki, and Ada, like those three elements coming to a head, like Kawaki is going to have to the plot is just going to continue going at a breakneck speed, and I definitely like it. But of course, you gotta wonder like what Shikamaru is going to do too, because he doesn't want to put too much pressure on him. The fight I'm waiting for is Damon. I know he's strong, but he's strong. Him trying with code didn't really impress me, especially now since Boruto just no diff him. I'm just to see how Kishimoto rocks around this. Yeah, seeing Damon fight, because I know the cliche when it comes down to a lot of these shonen series, when you have this character that's massively overpowered, and it's like, oh, more like some foolishness is going to happen for them to lose, or you know, or at least foolishness in the eyes of the readers and watchers. So getting Damon to fight would be nice. I mean, granted, I doubt he's been doing any training per se. But we could talk about that in terms of Damon's ease of, you know, beating Code versus Boruto's ease of beating Code. And, you know, Damon's finding the Uzuhiko interesting. It's like nifty, but, you know, he didn't really take it as a threat. So, a little Boruto versus... A Boruto versus Damon spar would be nice. Like a sparring session. But I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon, because with everything I just described, it just seems more along the lines of, oh, it's just going to be straight up chaos with the Shinju. So there's definitely that. I'm interested in seeing what Kashin Koji is going to do as well. It would be nice to get him in next chapter. Probably like a slight flashback to see as like a backdrop to the Shinju invading, you know, getting to see how Boruto met Kashin Koji, you know, just a bit, kind of like some snapshots like how they did the Sasuke and Boruto flashback, and just kind of using it as a backdrop to the Shinju actually invading. That would be nice, just to kind of set them up. I still want the like at least a Mitsuki and Kawaki conversation for next chapter as well, but having that as well would be nice. Yeah, he'll get absorbs some cell DBZ stuff. Yeah, I know persons are like speculating on that. I know in the past we've kind of said that, yeah, the Boruto kind of feels like that Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Z-esque type of transition. And we might have like, I mean, we have the quote unquote the androids, quote unquote. But yeah, okay, could be definitely cell kind of tidbit. And then Himawari is like the Gohan in this situation, right? And speaking of Himawari, it would be nice to get her in next chapter as well. I feel like I'm throwing a bunch of stuff for chapter 8. But, I mean, if Mitsuki is going to come back... Granted, no, but wait. They probably wouldn't have Himawari, because Himawari isn't... Because where Ada and Damon are, and Mitsuki and, you know, Kawaki, that's like a mission location. So they probably might not have Himawari there. They might have her... maybe in the distance, maybe similar to like in pre-time skip, where we had like Shikadai and Chocho and those persons watching Ada come to the house. Might be a situation like that. But yeah, there could be a situation where Himawari is like the Gohan in this situation as well. So, but I'm not really expecting much Himawari action or developments until probably the third or fourth volume for this story, depending on how long it's going to go, because some persons might speculate that, you know, 2 Blue Vortex won't be like a long manga, right? Even though its numbers on Manga Plus are like, it's been like at the top in terms of readership a lot of times in these last 2 months, but I don't know, the sales might be another thing as well. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex sales. Oricon. Let's see here. Oricon top 50 manga sales. 2 Blue Vortex. Of course, this was February 2, which was 31,837 issues sold. And Boruto Naruto Action 5 volumes sold 30,837. 19, and then volume 20 sold that. Copies in their first 3 days. I'd be interested to see what the sales are now, given that it's been basically a month. January 29th, to February 29th, that would be nice to know. But yeah, yeah, but the point is I'm not really expecting any Himawari action until volume 3 or 4. Probably volume 4 more so. So there's definitely that. Now, I think the next question to ask, and I think this is going to shed some light on the nature. This might be more so chapter 9 type of content. But in terms of the like Jura and Hidari and these characters even getting and capturing Naruto, right? I think in how that's executed, we will get more context and nuance to their evolution. And we had Boruto in the last chapter, chapter 6, saying that, you know, of course, Code's karma having something to do with it, his white karma. Now, of course, his white karma came from Ishiki, and there's elements of Ishiki kind of mixed in to the Shinju's evolution. I would not be surprised, especially if we're using, I don't know if this is a good example, if the fact that even the bug Shinju could you know, like, interact with and talk with Ada when she's using her Senrigan like viewing, and you know Jura like acknowledging that, yo, well, Senrigan. I would not be surprised, all things considered, in terms of what I just said, that they could actually go to the dimension that you have Naruto in, and then that kind of comfort that Kawaki has, like, oh, you know, I'm the one that has the keys, is going to be another element that's going to kind of push Kawaki to like desperate means, desperate times, desperate measures, you know. So I think that's going to be the case. But at the same time, yeah, we'll definitely get some nuance and explanation in terms of their evolution. Not the full picture, not the full story, but definitely something more to explain their evolution, so to speak. So that's definitely something I'm expecting or predicting for chapter. I mean, we might get it in chapter 8, but I'm foreseeing it more so being chapter 9, to say the least. So yeah, definitely that. Now, I'm sorry guys, but I'm still kind of iffy. I'm still kind of iffy on the whole why, outside of the instinctual desire, like speaking with Naruto, it just seems like they have all the information they would want right now outside of their instinctual desires. So it's like, really, fam? Really? Oh boy. But I guess we'll see how it goes, yeah, man. Hold on. Kawaki is a bastard. Sorry. Desires, yeah, so no. I'm not sure if it works. Hold on, yeah. Times. Improve. Wait, Andrew? There, man. He's talking some 2 blue vortex in terms of my predictions for chapter 8. And, you know, it always bleeds over into chapter 9. Well, the following chapter. But, you know, all things considered, having Naruto kidnapped would be nice. We all know, a lot of us, I mean, every fan that's reading up to this point still has major investment in terms of Naruto as a character, his fate, what's gonna happen to him, if he'll be able to come back in terms of combatability and everything. So having him kidnapped is like, yo, shit, the Naruto retrieval arc. Yo, honestly. But even if he gets kidnapped now, I don't want him to wake up yet. Probably just an extra volume or so without having Naruto necessarily be active just yet would be nice. I guess it depends on, I don't know what's really influencing the direction the story is going. You know, as like in some series, some persons are, the community would say like, oh, yo, character popularity polls is kind of influencing the direction the author is going. I don't know if that's the case with this. So that's the thing. Yeah, sort of the more I acquire, more questions arise, and the more things I don't know. If anything, the knowledge reveals my ignorance. It's fascinating. By the way, it's been granted that none of the books answers to my questions. And then that's the next thing too. I think they're foreshadowing Boruto's death. I wouldn't be surprised if Boruto died. Well, wait. You think they're foreshadowing his death? Why? Let me hear the explanation for that, Andrew. But what I was about to say though is that I would imagine these books would be information gathered by Ishiki and Amado and everything. So between these books, the fact that they have Sasuke, I don't know, it just seems weird to me, fam. It seems really weird to me. So I'll be paying like keen attention to if it comes to a point where Jura is having a conversation with Naruto, because I don't see what kind of information Naruto would have. What, the wisdom of Sage Mode? Is that what he's gonna teach him? Nobody cares about Sage Mode anymore, bro. Ah, God. But yeah, let me know why you think they're foreshadowing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Boruto does die in the end. I mean, we've kind of established that, you know, we're kind of going to opposite directions with, you know, Naruto from 0 to 100 and Boruto from 100 to 0. So it wouldn't be surprising if it comes down to that. Said he should die, he said. The idea, and same thing with Mitsuki. Oh, in terms of that. Alright. Could be. Like, once he kind of knocked sense into everybody, as Naruto would put it as well. It's like, on his deathbed, it's like, okay, I can die now. I mean, that could be the case. That could be the case. What's interesting as well, I might be reading too much into this, is that, oh, well, then again, Jura's right beside him. Sorry, I mean Hidari. Because I was going to say, like, Hidari is the only one they showed after he's saying, like, you know, if anything, the knowledge reveals my ignorance. It's fascinating. But I just realized that Hidari is actually sitting beside him. So it's going to be interesting, really and truly. Unless, in terms of the answers that Jura wants, it's more from, as you guys were saying, because of the whole ninchu aspect, maybe there's like that gap that needs to be filled by, you know, understanding through ninchu, connecting with chakra, really and truly. So maybe it could be that. I'm really interested to see the direction things are going to go with the evolved Shinju, and if at some point, I don't know if this would make it too chaotic, but I think at some point another Otsutsuki, or who knows, maybe another alien race comes into play. Who knows? That could be the case. But given, again, with the white karma and everything, it's like these characters are basically like, you could make the argument like a new breed of Otsutsuki. His death at the end. I mean, that could be the case. Boruto faking his death at the end could be the case. Could be. Oh boy. But I'm kind of curious as well if well, all chakras connected. I was gonna wonder if like Naruto and Hinata are going to be affected by omnipotence, because since, you know, the Daikokuten dimension doesn't have time. But I don't know if it's going to just apply like a Windows update once like they're taken out of that dimension. It's like, oh, Kawaki is my actual son and I just adopted Boruto. It's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be the case. But I mean, it's less interesting with, well, probably not less interesting. Well, maybe it is less interesting with Naruto, because it's like, okay, he's going to be like, if Boruto is the Kawaki in this situation, it's like, I can't give up on him. There must be a reason. So he's definitely going to be like, oh, let me try and help him. But I don't see Naruto playing an active role in the story. As I said, maybe even till the 5th volume? Maybe? Maybe, just maybe. So, that's my two cents on that. So yeah, in terms of my expectations for chapter 8, between all these different narrative elements kind of squeezing down or closing down on Kawaki, and I mean, if the last few chapters of pre-time skip is anything to go by, it seems like Kawaki does his best narrative work to engage us as the readers when he's desperate. So I think that would be a nice way to actually push forward, and of course again maintain the almost chaotic but fulfilling pacing that we've had since chapter 1, because it feels like since chapter 1 we haven't really put on the brakes per se. Every chapter feels like we're progressing the story, and I definitely like it, which is understandable because I wouldn't be surprised from an editorial standpoint. The person's like behind the scenes are like saying, yo, we have the anime on break, we need to get the story as far ahead as possible, because once we come back, there's no stopping again. So there's definitely that. Oh my god. I mean, they could... I know like doing this seasonal, it might not be like a guarantee of like quality, but I think doing what do you guys think? Doing like 16 episode Boruto seasons, maybe? Enough room to kind of cover material and insert some anime, quote unquote anime only content to kind of flesh out some of the in-between spots, or maybe even 24 episodes. I think that should be enough. And then, because 24 episodes, what's half a year, give or take. And then you take another 8 to 12 month break, and then rinse repeat. I think that could actually work for the most part. Now, I'm interested to see if there's any reports on Two Blue Vortex sales of Volume 1. Like, apart from what's been reported for the first week for Volume 1 having like 31,000, I'm wondering if it's like hit... Oh, I think my mouse just died. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Oricon. Let's see. February 19, February 25th, Volume 1. Additional. Oh, so as of February 25th, it's done 90,122 copies. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that seems okay. I wouldn't necessarily say bad. 90,122. Alright. I think that's okay. I mean, like, if I were to compare it to... Let's see. Last most died. List of Naruto manga volume sales. Can I find that? Reddit. And of course I don't think I'm gonna be able to find the first month of the volume that Shippuden premiered in. I just want to kind of compare that. That would have been like what, 2007? I can find total sales numbers. So 41 through 44, strike carrier from 40, 44 eventually is found. Nah, this is too late. That's 4 million. So 2007. It's over a year. List of Naruto manga volumes. Let me see. Let's see if it will list the sales by that, which I doubt. Yeah, part 2, so it'll be volume 28. Yeah, definitely I'll give me. Naruto manga volume 28 sales. Yeah, I don't know if anybody can actually get these figures for volume 28 for Naruto. That would be nice. But considering that Reddit post, right? If we even go back to it and see that, so let me see if there's nothing on Naruto PDF. Let's go back here. So 2008, volumes 41 through 44. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4 volumes, and that did like 4 million. So basically, on average, basically a little over $1 million per volume, and that was in a year's time. Granted, it's just been like what, a month since volume 1 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex came out, and almost 100,000, which I don't think is bad. I don't think it's bad. But again, if that previous Oricon post, I mean, the sales per volume has been going down, like each volume. It's actually crazy. It's actually crazy. So the final volume for, okay, so I mean, since it's been a month, I wouldn't be surprised if 2 Blue Vortex volume 1 surpasses that last volume of Naruto Next Generations, because based on this is over 7 weeks. That last volume of NNG sold 96,896. Let's, yeah, I think we give it more time and see. I really still want to figure out how the numbers on Manga Plus work. Because, alright, for example, 2 Blue Vortex is at number 1. Then you have Dragon Ball Super, JJK, One Piece, then Chainsaw Man. Top 5. My hero. Boruto 2 Blue Vortex is around 21,944. Can somebody give me like some assistance? Like, is this the amount of readers over the last month or week, or I've never really understood Manga Plus's, you know, rankings here. But all we know is Boruto has been number 1 for a little while. So yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much my predictions. All that for 2 Blue Vortex. I do want to give special shout out to Dragon Ball Super. I did stop reading it at the end of the Granola the Survivor arc. I did not read like any of the chapters covering the recap of this Dragon Ball Super Hero arc. But I did read the latest chapter, and I think we're finally going in a good direction. I mean, Ultra Instinct Goku versus Gohan Beast, and you know, we're getting a lot of the characters involved. Who knows, maybe Goten and Trunks might get some inspiration to, you know, do something different with their lives now. So yeah, I find it interesting. It's kind of like, and you know, they're both in the same magazine, V-Jump, Boruto and Dragon Ball Super. But the fact that it almost feels like Dragon Ball and Naruto / Boruto are kind of in the same position, because Dragon Ball right now, well, granted, Dragon Ball, they're getting an anime this this year, but outside of that, things have just felt a bit, you know. But granted, thinking about it objectively, yeah, Dragon Ball still has more going for it. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot got that DLC recently. Of course, you have Tenkaichi, well, Sparking Zero, aka Tenkaichi 4, you know, coming out as well. Which, and we've yet to get like a decent quote unquote Boruto game, even though people might want to say Naruto X Boruto Storm connections. But Dragon Ball seems like it's going in a interesting direction right now, and I don't want to jinx it. I really don't. But based on how Gohan is portrayed in this chapter, it seems that we'll consistently be getting the Gohan that we want from now until the franchise dies. I am begging because that was one of my major issues with the Dragon Ball superhero movie, where it seemed like we're retreading that whole Gohan. He's like, oh, let's fall back and I have to get this bullshit power up again to kind of catch up. It's like rinse repeat. But it seems like they've we've used the arguably nonsensical beast power up, and we are using that. Like, okay, going forward we'll keep him consistent and everything. I know, I will acknowledge, yes, we know he's been kind of training in secret here and there, but yeah, it still has that Dragon Ball Super-esque flavor of, oh boy, the character's making some ridiculous jumps in power, dog. It's actually crazy. Actually crazy. But Goku, Vegeta, Broly, Gohan, Piccolo, and hopefully if Goten and Trunks get inspired by all of what's happening, then honestly we have a very dynamic cast of characters, and it's no longer just the Goku and Vegeta show. And of course, the games going forward are gonna have room for a bunch of DLC. So I will definitely say that. But it's going to be one interesting day once the Dragon Ball anime starts back, Super or whatever. I mean, I'm looking forward to Daima. I know some persons aren't, but like between Moro, Granola the Survivor, I'm really hoping they don't do like anime only versions of Broly and the superhero. It's just, that would be like I mean, they might, just to kill time, but yeah. I am hoping it doesn't end up being the case. Let me just kind of scroll down here. Hold on. And this Gotenks gag needs to stop. We need actual teen Gotenks. We're tired. We get the joke. Fat Gotenks. It's whatever. Alright. Ultra Instinct. And I really like how Toyotaro like portrays Gohan transform. It's kind of very reminiscent of the movie. The hair still looks ridiculous on Gohan Beast, but it's still, it doesn't seem as ridiculous. It might be a case that we're just used to it right now, maybe. Yo. But all things considered, I know a lot of us are thinking that we're setting up for like a Black Frieza arc. Could be the case. The next Tournament of Power is going to be interesting, to say the least. But I mean, similar to like what a lot of persons are saying in the Dragon Ball community now, this is probably the most excited I've been for Dragon Ball in the last year, to be honest, which is understandable because again, it's like we're tired of recaps, right? When Dragon Ball Super started and when Boruto started, again, two of the mangas that are in the same magazine, is like recaps for content that we already saw. And I know, especially in Boruto's case, it kind of set the foundation for the direction they're taking the story. You know, because of course the Momoshiki arc in the manga versus the movie, and you know, in the manga or the anime, we kind of set the stage for the direction, like, oh, he has this curse seal or karma mark, and we take the story from there. But it's still painful whenever we get recaps. So getting a recap for an arc that we just saw in a movie that wasn't half bad this late in the game, yeah, not my cup of tea. But I'm looking forward to seeing how things go with Goku versus Gohan for the next chapter and where the story is going to go after we end off this, you know, superhero arc, you know, aftermath. It's going to be fun. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. What your expectations for it. I mean, 2024 is quickly ending. I know we're just going into the 3rd month, but before you know it, it's like October, November, December, and then boom, doing it all over again. So I'm interested to see where Dragon Ball is going to go this year. Yo, listen, when Dragon Ball Sparking Zero pre-order is available, I am pre-ordering because yo, good old days of Tenkaichi, dog. PS2 years. So looking forward to that. But anyway, I think I've said my piece with this end of month subscriber stream. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think this is nice, straight to the point between the Naruto live action, 2 Blue Vortex, Dragon Ball. As I said, I'm watching Free Reign and I watched Zom 100 recently, so I would say, and I'm watching Solo Leveling, so outside of that, that's pretty much it. And Ninja Kamui. I will say Free Reign, awesome series. Like, I know some persons might find it slow and thing, but to be honest, if you really dissect the nuances of it, it's really good. Solo Leveling, enjoying it so far, but I can definitely vibe with persons who might want to say like, oh, the manhwa was, you're feeling the manhwa more, you know, if they go back to it. So I understand. It's not that the art and animation is bad for Solo Leveling in terms of the anime adaptation, but you know, I don't. Apart from episode 6 and the Dark Aria soundtrack and everything was good, I still don't think Solo Leveling has had that big like season 1 moment, you know. So I think that's what persons are still waiting on when it comes on to that. So we wait and see. But anyway, that's all I have for this one, people. Hope you guys are doing great. For the person who will be rewatching or watching the stream when, you know, they managed to come on, you know, shout out to you guys. Thanks for, you know, coming through. Definitely leave a like, comment, subscribe naturally, and yeah, that's all I have for this one. So thank you guys for coming out. Sandra Chia, and stay safe out there. All the best for March.